And we're back with another episode of Harvestella. Today we're going to start off with doing a side quest for Cress. And gotta go to the North Steps for that, so let's go and get the gold leaves that she wants. I want to try this out, this cooking or break time thing. Tactless, that's funny. That's about right. And so I fight my way through a throng of monsters until I eventually find the cool leaves that I'm looking for. After that, I continue to the Maya, and I decide to head to the store to pick up some strawberries and tomato seeds. And there's another side quest that I might as well take care of while I'm here. So the girl on the right is being bad because she doesn't want to get adopted, and she actually wants the girl on the left to be adopted because the girl on the right, Annie, knows what it's like to grow up without parents, and she does not want the other younger girl to have to experience that. So she ends up pleading her case to the parents that are going to adopt her, and in the end they ultimately end up adopting both of them. So it ends up being a happy ending. Damn, I just bought some tomato seeds and they're like, here, have tomato seeds. After that, I returned to Leif to drop off the materials Cress requested, and oh my lord. Just keep thinking of farming, men. Women are temporary, but farming is eternal. After that, I hurriedly returned to my farm to tend to my new crops, and I check in for the night. Ugh. I only got one level off of that. Working the farm, tilling the fields, yeah, let's get us some crops. I then decided to buy the fishing knowledge from the general store and try out fishing for the first time. Instead of completing the Nemea questline, I decided to head to the Jade Forest, kidnapping Assel, which is a trend that I will do with the other companion characters later on. And we head into the forest and check it out. The meep. We get a brief cutscene of this guy and this lady talking, and apparently she needs a boat for some reason, but it seems like he might be stringing her along, so I'm guessing that's our next companion character here. The monsters here are a tad stronger than the ones we've faced before, but nothing that we can't handle. I begin to grow a bit worried as time drags on later into the night, but before you know it, we find the exit to the Jade Forest and warp back home. Got some silver, which means I can upgrade my weapon again. Huh? What do you mean I'm taking care of the child? That's suspicious. What the hell? And thus another day passes. I get another letter from Cress, who wants some re-ice flaps from the Jade Forest, which I was just at, so I might as well go take care of that now. Before I can leave, this little girl visits us and asks us to help her with her friends, Van and Vent, because they've been acting weird and avoiding her. However, her problems will have to wait, as I have to go to Heaven's Egg, because my friend has informed me that I get bombs from here, and I want the bombs. There's a whole ass highway up there. We find more sci-fi looking buildings here, kind of like the first Sea Slide, but way more, and head deeper into the Heaven's Egg. Of course, with a new area comes new monsters, and we spend our time clearing them out. Unfortunately, I run out of time, so I quickly head back home, and the next day, Arya wants to talk with us, and she gives us the recipe to make the bombs. Hooray! It's like, hold on, let me teach these medieval-looking guys about the secrets of gunpowder and fire. I remember that this girl requested my help, so I decided to help her in her little quest with her friends. Ah, her friends disappeared. We should ask around, yeah. And so, once again, I completely ignore her to go purchase an upgrade for my farm. Just kidding, we go and help her out. Turns out her friends ran off to the Jade Forest, and it's starting to seem like a lot of missions are in the Jade Forest for some reason. So we head there. Although first I pick up another quest, which then also leads us to the Jade Forest yet again. Oh yeah, we need to sell the crab. How you doing, man? No, don't put me in the box, man. Oh. So it turns out that the one that sent that suspicious letter earlier was this Omen, who's been watching after this child that ran into the forest because his parents are never home and he feels like they don't love him anymore, so he ran away. Which I totally understand, because as a child, you tend to blow things way out of proportion and you just don't have, I guess, the tools to, like, know how to rationally deal with a situation like this. We run into Milka's friends again, and they run off back to town, so guess we gotta go back to town now at some point. Continuing on, we find the young boy that ran from the Omen and deal with this. Along the way, I gather up the rest of the fruits that I need to go talk to the one lady back at town, and we run across this weird monster here that we defeat and take a ring from that says her name on it. I also grabbed the re-ice flowers that Cress requested for us to find, so now I can head back to town. I explore the rest of the Jade Forest here, and along the way I run into this sphere which somehow gets stuck in this corner here, so I ended up actually beating it well before I should be able to. We killed our first sphere. That thing was nuts! Last time is running short, so I end up returning home, and I will complete those side quests tomorrow. Yeah. Oh yeah, our farm should be expand. Holy crap. I didn't think it would expand that much.
Looks like some of the crops are ready for harvest.
With the expansion of our farm comes room for more crops, and the mayor sends us some more seeds so that we can plant some more plants. We find the young boy that we rescued in the forest yesterday, and he reconciles with his parents, and they take him home. I then find Milka once again, and we chase after her friends who hold themselves up in the mayor's house to try to convince him not to let her and her parents leave, but obviously he doesn't have the authority for that, so there's nothing they can do about stopping her from moving away. Damn. Oh, this moving saga has turned into a whole mess, hasn't it? Tired of all the drama, I go over to Cress's house, and she thanks us for the re-ice flowers, and also tells us about her parents. And then I can finally wrap up the last side quest, which is giving the fruit to this lady, and she talks with us and tells us a bit about her past, and why she's tending to this house every day. And with the completion of all those side quests, I've gotten a crap ton of seeds, which I am now using to expand my farm even further. And before I forget, I have to go back to this Omen in the Jade Forest to let him know that the boy is now safe and sound with his parents again. And he gives us a reward. Man. I then try to fight this sphere, but unfortunately it hands our ass to us and we get sent back home. Disappointed in my defeat, I head back outside the next day and tend to my crops. They are growing quite well, and I am quite pleased with how the farm has come along so far. Unfortunately, getting knocked out like that means that we start at noon the next day, so a lot of time is wasted, but I do discover a good spot to farm mushrooms and wild leaves, right near the teleporter. Oh, and I decided to fight the sphere, because why not? Hell yeah. And with that, another day begins. Crest sends us another letter, wanting some more materials, but thankfully this time I already have them on hand. Oh, and would you look at that? Another child to request our aid. Yep. I then head into town to give Crust the ingredients she requested, which turns out she wanted them for the mayor for his back problems. We then learn from the mayor that he actually looked after Cress and her brother when they were children after their parents suddenly died, which is kind of cool. After that, I meet up with Van and Milka here to try to figure out what happened with Vent, and Van thinks he might be at the North Steps since he took his shovel, so away we go. But that's gonna have to do it for this time. Like if you like the video, subscribe if you want to subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Have a good day. Bye bye.